You've obviously learned something if you've got this far, so repay it and subscribe. Nobody is looking at you.
Leave it out, bruv. I'm a flipping showpiece when I'm in the gym. Don't come at me with things like that. Yeah, and it's, do you know what? It's scary, like, how many people I've worked with over the years that are terrified of going in the gym in the first place. And it's one of the things that I try and say to them. I'm like, nobody's looking at you. The gyms, you know, are very, what's the word? It's quite a selfish environment. We're all there, if anything, we're all looking at ourselves. Right?
Absolutely. It's like, covered in mirrors.
Yeah. But it's and regardless of, I mean, listen, I go in there, as I think everyone should, with a plan of action that I've looked at before I go in this. I've mapped out in my head what I'm doing. I've lived that session before I even go in. Yeah. I've got the tunes on, and those tunes have normally been in the car on the way as well, so I'm in this kind of like zone. I know what I'm doing. I'm kind of there for one reason, and it's not to look at other people, right? I'm going in there to do what I need to do for myself, with a task. And listen, there's an element of people are looking at you wherever you go. If you want the flip side of that, every time you walk into a restaurant or anything, like, people are looking at you and people are going, who's this guy? And an unfortunate part of life, it is what it is. People are judging you. So it's one of those things people just need to let go of as well, because you know, nobody's looking at you in that they're paying attention to themselves, but at the same time, who cares?
Yeah, I think, like, you know, how many times have you started with a female client who is perhaps a little bit daunted about going into the free weight section, and you can understand that from the standpoint that, you know, it tends to be like loads of guys and perhaps it's not comfortable at first, but in actual fact, you know, no one cares what you're doing or what you're actually trying to achieve in there. Everyone's in there for themselves. But I have to say that, I'll tell you what, I care what other people are doing in the gym. Like, if I see you squatting, I want to know exactly what you're squatting, how you're squatting.
You've raised a good point.
And I want to out-squat you.
But I love it. But you've raised a good point. Lie. That's that one. Never. No, but you don't know. That's a good point, because, yeah, it's true, actually. If you really want to turn heads in the gym, go in there and be in the best shape in the gym, or be in that. They're the ones that people are going to be going, who is this guy? Who are they? What are they doing? And yeah, I don't know. I think there's maybe it's a modern day anxiety thing, but it is what it is. You know, you're going into a public place at the end of the day. And listen, how many times do you have a little glance around the gym and I see terrible form, poor range of motion, terrible execution, people just faffing about and mucking about in general. So it's not like you're going in there and you're going to be like, people are going to be laughing at you, or people are going to be looking at you thinking, what's this guy? Other people are clowning in there. They don't realise they're clowning in there. But other people are in there clowning. They haven't got a clue what they're doing half the time.
No, absolutely. Like, you know, the gym is full of people who kind of, you know, most people, I would say, are going in there with an idea of what they want to do and kind of don't really know how to go about getting that. But the very fact that you're there and you're trying anyway, that's a win.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then it's one of those things, like, training's a skill. So the more you go, the better you get, the more comfortable you are, the more you realise that actually no one gives a fuck what you're doing.
They don't.
Right? And you're just, you know, everyone's just in it for themselves. And, you know, depending on where you train as well, the gym's a really nice place. Like, you know, I think where you and I both train, everyone's very complimentary to each other. Like, we kind of build each other up. Like, I want to see you win. Do you know what I mean? As much as I want to outlift you, I want to, like, when I see you on that hack squat that day, like, that shit gives me goosebumps. Do you know what I mean? And I'm nowhere near doing that set like that.
100%. Right? So likewise on the bench the other week. Yeah, without doubt.
So that's how it works for me.
I'll tell you who's definitely you know, when we say nobody's looking at you, nobody cares. My missus doesn't care. Bro, every day, every night, we're brushing our teeth, right? And our mirror, the lighting in our bathroom is peak anabolic, right? And so I just start catching a bit, you know, you catch a bit tricep, and I start, and then it becomes. Have a look. I'm basically I'm at the Olympia now. Right? We're not in the bathroom brush. So I'm at the Olympia
first
now,
call out,
and I'm first call out, and I'm hitting a front double by, and I'm looking at her, I'm going look, and she doesn't care. So listen, if my own wife isn't looking at me,
who is?
Who is?
Exactly. Loads of birds.